Meeting people online is fun and exciting. It's an adventure all unto its own as one is able to connect with new and interesting ideas by making interpersonal connections with people. It's a way to connect and interact that alleviates some of the tension one might struggle with when it comes to meeting people face to face. Meeting others on social media has a safety net of anonymity to some degree. While it is expected that people form truthful relationships and conduct themselves honestly and with integrity, it turns out that the social media outlets are the go-to hubs for narcissists. We all know the safety protocols. We go through great lengths to protect ourselves online. We are careful of what pictures we post, and we keep our private lives private. And we do our best not to give out personal information to those who we do not know. In taking all the right steps, we assume that we are safe, but sadly, the narcissist is waiting for their in. They are carefully waiting and inspecting the barriers, those walls we have up on social media, those walls that we have set in place. And unfortunately, if there's just a tiny little crack, the narcissist will find his way in to squeeze inside to say, "Hello, do you need any help?" Social media is the modern replacement for meeting people face to face, and while it has many gains, it also carries many drawbacks. This is because humans were made for face to face contact. That's how God made us. We were engineered and hardwired to read others face to face subliminally. This reading through physical contact is what enables us to determine whether someone holds our interest. We read others through body language and muscular responses of the face to ensure we can determine whether someone is trustful or not, and to judge their authenticity. Social media disregards this altogether, and this makes for a dangerous playground for the enemy. Well, for us, because this is the enemy's playground after all, because we, the innocent, never see the enemy coming. This was me. I assumed I had all the right protocols in place. I was well grounded in my territory on the Facebook social network. I felt safe and confident, and all it took was one slip of letting my personal life on the media channel. I admit I had a lapse in judgment. I broke my own protocol. I broke my rule of never letting people see the personal side to me in open content such as Instagram and Facebook. I believe there is a time and place to confide in someone. And I'm a firm believer that when putting content on social media for all the world to see, this should not be personal, as this personal information should be only reserved for the exclusive people in your life. Remember, narcissists use your weaknesses against you. Those secret things you tell them, they will eventually find a way to use against you. You know, when you get to know somebody and you confide in them your secret, your deepest, darkest secret that you are trusting them with, well, when conflict happens, they have that deepest, darkest secret on the back burner, and they will slide it in their slick and sauntry tale of boasting and devaluation and gaslighting and meander around to throw evil darts at you. This is no different than what the narcissist does on social media. The personal content that you post on Facebook is not so personal in the way of being a deep, dark secret, but nevertheless, this is what the narcissist will use against you. The personal content you put on social media is the same as you sharing your personal content with the narcissist when you learn to gain his trust. It's just not as severe. But when you form the relationship, the trust level goes up. So the more the trust level, the more deeper and darker the secret becomes. The personal content that you share with people on social media is personal information that will be used against you, bar none. It's used against you in the way to gain an in through your social media content in order to gain an in into your life to befriend you. The narcissist uses your social media content, the personal stuff, to gain ground and to gain emotional territory over you. It's a slow and steady drip of that proverbial needle soaked with saline. It seems harmless at first, but the wounds they leave behind are gaping. Now, I made a mistake, as many of us do, and I learned the hard way. As soon as I aired my event in my personal life, a specific type of individual found his in, and we began talking. He was friendly and seemed kind and genuine. But over a year later, looking back at the conversations in the text form, I realized my mistake. I had no idea that because of my mistake, I had lured this person into my life. Don't get me wrong, I learned a lot about myself during the relationship with this person, and I hold no hard feelings. But had I not gone back after the breakdown of the relationship to find what I was looking for in a text, I would have continued to believe that this perhaps was a chance meeting. And it was, but not so much as what I would like to believe. I believe that life happens for you, not to you. And I also believe that nothing is coincidence and happenstance. Nothing happens without reason. What I said online was what the narcissist needed to gain entry into my life, and this made it easy for him to feign sympathy and to gain from me what he needed, all the while leading me to believe he was supplying me with what I needed. Now, I can look at it and say we both needed a friend. I know I certainly did. While I needed a friend, he just needed company. While I needed someone to talk about the things that I aired out on social media and things that mattered to me on a different context, he needed to show me support as this caused his loneliness to subside. I can look back on this and reflect on the opposing dynamics of this now. But had I seen these texts at the beginning of the relationship, no, I would have been blinded to it because I was blinded to it. Going over the texts showed me that the conversation was extremely one-sided. The individual brought attention to my problem one time only. It was a sleight of gesture, a gesture of the hand, so to speak, an extension of a friendly handshake. And then the conversation turned. It became about him. One-word answers that caused me to probe. And I continued to probe with answers that allowed him to answer vaguely. He was never interested in helping me through my trouble. He was only interested in appearing to come to my rescue, to fake sympathy so that I could rescue him from his life of loneliness and solitude. Many people assume that the narcissist is predatory. And yes, this is what they are. But they are not conscious about it. As stated in my other video entitled, I Didn't Ask to Love a Narcissist, I share with you that there is an unseen instinctual construct going on in the mind of a narcissist. where I projected my heart onto the screen on social media, leaving my words for the world to see, the narcissist saw my post and interpreted it, my words, with emotion and without feeling. They instead, with a head knowledge, guided with their own emotion, turned to my pain like a beacon. Now, social media is a stand-in for physical social interaction, and it alleviates the necessary social bonding that narcissists cannot conform to. Within social media relations, the narcissist is able to mirror, but that mirroring takes a little bit more work in the form of time, because they are not able to physically mirror our mannerisms and behaviors, which subliminally sends a message to us, or it should if we are more aware and in tune to this, that they are not people that we should be hanging around. So social media alleviates that problem and makes it easy for the narcissist to befriend people. The narcissist has to rely instead on mirroring the things that we say and how we say them. And for the narcissist, this is easy to do. They don't have to understand how we feel. They only need to repeat what we say. This too is something that I found startling obvious, but only after the relationship breakdown. Going back over saved text, I realized that meaningful words that I used, things that are a part of my mannerisms and my creativity and my characteristics, were used back at me in a way to bond us closer together. And it worked. The superficial words I frequently used would be mirrored back at me in a way that bonded the two of us together to draw me closer to him. I thought he was into me. And I thought he was being so romantic. So, what should you do to help better protect yourself from social media savvy narcissists? Well, ladies, never air dirty laundry on the internet. Never. If you have to vent, please find someone to talk with. Go for a walk, shout into your pillow, write down your grievances on a piece of paper, but never share publicly your personal life that exposes your feelings, your emotions, and your pain. Now, I allow you to share your feelings and your emotions and your pain when you sign up for the e-coaching course with me. But this is never to dwell. And what you put on social media is there forever. It's record. Journal your pain if you have to. This is something that I really recommend. Talk to God. Go read your Bible. Go search for answers in the Word of God. Because once you share publicly your personal life that exposes your feeling, your emotions, and your pain, this is the message the narcissist is looking for, as this is the green light message that allows them to engage with you through feigned sympathy and rescuing techniques. Now, if a narcissist does engage with you after your social media outburst, you need to be aware of some things to look out for. That potentially might be a red light for you to stop the relationship before it gets started, because a narcissist will not say no. Look for the exchange of sympathy. While some people will offer condolences, most people will not. Most people will just mind their own business and just leave you alone on social media. Some may even tell you, that's not a good idea to do. Some will offer themselves to you if you need to talk, but instead of leaving the next time to talk up to you, a narcissist will impose themselves on you. They will initiate conversation and keep it going. They will check in with you and engage with you, but not necessarily to see how you are doing so you can talk about your pain. They use your pain to introduce themselves to you and talk to you to get you to focus your attention on them. A narcissist will use your social media outburst as a means to an end, a means to their end, to get them the end result that they are looking for. Someone to fill up their time so they feel less lonely. They are looking for seemingly lonely and hurt people because they too are lonely and hurt people. While you may have had a momentary lack in judgment, the narcissist looks at that as a means to justify why they should talk to you, and they use that as an attractant. Most people are attracted to the outward appearance initially, and this is too said for a narcissist. But a narcissist will also use your pain as a means to attract themselves to you. And then they talk about themselves in order to attract you to them. A narcissist will not spend time talking with you about your feelings concerning your personal life that you made public. They will speak superficially about it in a way to draw attention to it, as it's been my experience that the narcissist would say, "I'm sorry that happened to you. You are in my prayers." But that is all that they will try to accomplish for you to ease your burden. That's it. The next step is to get you to redirect your focus from yourself to focus onto them. This helps ease their social media status of being lonely. So, there you have it. We all make mistakes. It's a part of growing and healing. And I truly hope that this has been helpful to you to help make you aware of how the narcissist can be drawn to you on the social media platform. It isn't so providential as you may think. And there is rhyme and reason to their methodology, as the narcissist's modus operandi on the social media circuit of the internet is to engage in you to suit their needs in the easiest way possible. They are always preying on the vulnerable. It is okay to admit at times you may too be vulnerable. That does not mean that you are a bad person. It just means that you have work to do. You are still strong and vibrant. You are still you. We all have our weak moments. This is why I'm here and you are watching this video, because we are here to learn from each other as we help one another. We are all in this together, and you, my dear lovely lady, I got you back. I really do. I do not mind sharing the mistakes I have made, because I know mistakes are not failures. They enable us to grow. Knowledge is power, and the more you know, the more empowered you become to steer clear of the social media vampires that are slick and smooth with their entrance into your inbox of life. Social media is fun, and it should be enjoyable. I trust that this information is information that you can use to help keep you internet savvy and emotionally safe the next time you should be confronted by a social media internet prowling narcissist who uses your loss for their gain. Be vigilant and stay true to you. When in doubt, use the block and carry on like a boss. Be blessed.